Hey dude,
Hello.
how are you?
Hi.
Hi.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you. Thanks for making time for this.
No, thank you for joining Drive, Dine, and Decode AI.
Great. I'm looking forward to the whole journey.
Yeah, we just want to hear people's stories, their journey, and just find out a little bit more about yourself.
Okay.
Yeah. So, interestingly, right, you've worked in many places before. I checked you out on LinkedIn. You've gone from consulting, you've done stock images. Yeah, maybe you can tell me a little bit more about that whole transition and things like that. Because Chen Chow was the one who referred you to say that you should join this program. And yes, connect with Warren. He's a good guy.
Got it. Well, I'm very honored and very privileged. So a bit of background about myself. My dad was a police officer. My mom was a housewife.
Oh wow.
I grew up in Klang. So after SPM, I was fortunate enough to get a JPS scholarship. So I went abroad to the UK.
Nice.
I did a degree in accounting and finance from the LSE. So after graduation, in comparison to all my other friends who ended up becoming investment bankers or management consultants, I started in oil and gas first, working on the trading floor with BP in Canary Wharf in London.
Right.
Then I became a management consultant with Bain & Company. And about 13 years ago, I came back to Malaysia because of my parents and also because of the opportunity to try to do something.
Right.
So I joined the government. I was part of this government agency called Magic, which looks into building the local digital ecosystem over here. So I was there for a year. I was running Southeast Asia's largest accelerator program, handling investor relations and partnerships. And over there, prior to me leaving, I wanted to make sure that I could devolve all of the relationships that I had in my brain into a community that could sustain by itself. Because I happened to get to know a lot of the VCs and PEs across the region, most of the startup founders across the region as well. Then. And so that was how we started this community called Unique Coach, which Chen Chow is part of and you're part of as well. So this is like almost all the founders and all of the ecosystem players, the senior execs from the Google, from Microsoft, from
it's amazing how you managed to put so many people together. You are really quite the networker. I'd imagine.
I mean, they have all ended up being friends, right? Because we've met multiple times and exchanged thoughts and so on and so forth. So after leaving Magic, then I joined a company called Imagine, which owns a few brands, 123RF, Pixlr, Designs. I was there for 10 years. I became a group CEO. Then last year I left to do my own thing, and with that I started my own AI training company called AI Training to You. AI Training to You is where we've been focusing on upgrading organizations, helping them to build the competencies in terms of some technical development and so on and so forth. Right?
Very much needed nowadays, honestly.
Very much needed nowadays.
Everyone talks about AI, but honestly, sometimes people have no idea where to start.
Yes.
I think people at home, they dabble with ChatGPT or they get whichever apps they like to subscribe to, whether it's for creating videos or photos, but then really to move the needle significantly, they need some formalized training as well.
Yeah, exactly. And then with that, I've got a team of 10 people. They are doing training. They're also involved in terms of building products. So we have a few SaaS products. We also have a few classified sites. And ultimate thing is having a blend between servicing and as well as having our products that can sell. Where we are the principals ourselves.
So that is under a different brand as well, right?
Under
like the agents, SuperAgent K.
Under Super Group, we have SuperAgent K. We have Super CFO. And then we have 2 classified sites called Super Homes and also Super Jobs. But the reality is, AI Training to You is there to go and fund the team in terms of the payroll and the OPEX as we continue to grow the ecosystem.
So for now, the one that makes money is the training part of the business.
The training part of the business, we've trained about 1,000 over people, over 200 to 300 different companies.
Amazing.
So like Lotus, MyNews, Zeus, MyDin, these are all our customers, Right Bank, CCM, Shopee. So across because the appetite for this kind of training is quite wide, right? All the organizations are looking for this kind of help.
Okay, well, since this episode is called Drive, Dine, Decode AI, maybe tell me a little bit more about this car. What does it say about you? Or what do you like about driving this car?
Okay, so I've been driving this car since I came in from the UK, right? I'm not really a car person, so I've not
That's
really
like
changed.
me.
Yeah, exactly.
And Chow, he's always been driving that car for forever.
So something that's functional is good enough for me, right? It's a means to an end, right? The more important thing is actually, for me, right? It's less so about the material things like, a property or a vehicle, and more so about buying for experiences, right? So I spend most of my money for the limited luxuries on things like diving, holidays with my wife.
All right, scuba diver.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
right,
I love it.
So yeah, normally I'll go for like 2 or 3 or 4 live on boards a year with a bunch of startup people.
Nice. Okay, maybe next one you invite me. Okay.
Can right. So we go diving with a whole bunch of grabbers, right? So
Cheryl go. Yeah, it's amazing. She's always on vacation somewhere.
Exactly. So yeah,
Cheryl, we gotta get you on this program.
Exactly, you should, right? Yeah. So she's a great friend, right? So yeah, we go diving with a group lah. And then she organizes it. Yeah.
Okay. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah. So maybe tell me a little bit more about what you hope to achieve in maybe 5 to 10 years from now.
So ultimately, right, what I want to do is to actually build a scalable business that will make sense. Guan is here, but we do one round. In case we can find parking, right? Over here, ngam.
That's nice.
Okay, so scalable business with products that can sell. Because right now with the whole AI disruption and so on and so forth, right? The key thing is about earning the right to exist. Because the whole software industry is getting disrupted.
Yes.
Hence the reason why you have the market cap of all these software companies declining quite significantly over the past few months, right? Past 1 year or so, right? But on the other as well, right? It's really about finding the opportunity sets where the intersections are between different industries along with AI. And hence right now, the key opportunity set is actually marketing to organizations and selling to organizations where they want to use AI as a way to increase their efficiency, reduce their costs, optimize the headcount, right, and the OPEX, and do more with less. Because with the new technology that's available out there at the current moment, it's really possible for organizations to achieve these goals.
Yeah, absolutely. Come, let's go and have a bite. Ken?
Okay, no problem.
All right.
Okay, come.
Okay, so this is a nice cafe. We're at Guan's. I'm more familiar with the one near my house, SS4 area. But today we're in Puchong because it's near where you are. And you're just telling me just now that you don't have a physical office, but once a week you get together with all your team.
Yeah.
And then they work from your place.
Yeah, we've got a team of 10 people. So these 10 people are involved in terms of the training for AI training to you as well as building our products.
Okay.
Right. Most of the time, we all work remotely, except whenever we have to conduct training either in a co-working space or a client space. But at the very least, we also meet once a week to work on our products. It's a way to make sure everybody is aligned, everybody is aware of what's going on. Then they share the lessons that they've learned. Because the face-to-face interaction is also very important to get everybody together on the same page.
Right. Yeah, so I think in an organization, when you do your engagements, right, who do you think should start it off? Would it be better to start from the CEO, the finance team, IT team, the managers?
Okay. For me, it's less so about the sequence of starting, but more so about making sure the 3 enablers are there. Number 1, top-down alignment, meaning the leadership, the founders, the bosses, the C-suites. Second thing will be the execution level, because these are the people who will be implementing AI solutions, building AI chatbots, AI agents, and so on and so forth, right? And then the third thing will be IT, because IT will be involved in terms of setting up the infra, setting up the governance, deciding which vendor to use, justifying the budget, and so on and so forth. So if you don't have a top-down alignment, the boss and the working level might not have the same aligned view or vocabulary of what AI can do nowadays.
So sometimes it takes a little bit of time because you need to get everybody to have the buy-in, to be in agreement in terms of the whole path and the final outcomes, right?
Yeah, so whenever we conduct training, actually we don't sell training. we sell the whole change management.
Yes.
That's our forte, right?
That's right.
Anybody can do training. So, but not everybody can actually, speak the same language as the C-suites and charting a path ahead, so that they can roll things out successfully.
Yeah, measure outcomes, adoption, and all of that.
Exactly, right? They will measure their own adoption, but it's more about having a roadmap and execution roadmap, and we help them along the way.
Right.
So, I think the leadership needs to know what they want to commit to, and what is the outcome they need to see, because they're answerable to the board. The execution level need to understand what the management wants, so they can map out to the different processes and roll things out and turn that into reality. The IT side will need to provide very clear guidance on data governance, security, sovereignty, which models to use, how do you actually control information access. So all these things need to be aligned before anything can jalan.
Yeah. Maybe can you share an example of maybe your favorite workflow that you see moves the needle within an organization?
So within my own organization, we use a combination of NAN and a lot of Claude. We also have Gemini, and we've been dabbling around a little bit with Copilot also. The reality is, number one, we have workflow-based processes, which we use to standardize a lot of the SOPs, whether it's our HRDC claiming process, our expenses claims, our leave management system, our own chatbot as a way to answer thank you, queries. So whilst we're having this interview right now, probably be getting maybe about 10 to 15 or 20 leads coming into our Facebook campaigns.
Okay.
Right. So our chatbot is actually answering it based on our SKUs, based on the services and products that we have, and so on and so forth. So if you had asked me which is my favorite workflow right now, it's probably the one that can actually take my mental load off.
Okay.
So that it can continue to just keep running. That's the end goal. Thank you.
So that would kind of differ from person to person, organization to organization, right?
Yeah.
Because everybody would have those different things that weigh on their mind and what they would like to let go of.
Yes. So on one hand, before you actually start mapping things over to the different processes, you need to be aware of what's possible with AI. And so therefore, some of the organizations, they spend more time mapping instead of getting their feet, their ears wet, and their hands dirty first. So my suggestion is always go for a bit of a training, or expose yourself or learn by yourself on what's possible with the latest versions of AI, whether it's the frontier models or the different tools, and then only start mapping. Because how do you map onto processes when you are not aware of what's possible now?
That's true.
That's the key thing.
And it's like a moving train though. There's so much stuff happening all the time. For an average organization that is not super tech savvy, how do you even know what is even available now? Yeah, there's so much catching up.
So things are moving so fast that every few weeks there's a new update, There are new models. So a year ago everybody was using ChatGPT only.
That's true.
Then suddenly, maybe 9 months ago, Gemini started showing some promise with anti-gravity and 3.1 Pro. Then over the last 6 months, most of the people I know have moved over to Claude, It's because things are moving so fast. Maybe 6 months from now, a year from now, this will also be very different as organizations move towards the open-weighted models, and so on and so forth. But for me, as long as you focus on the fundamentals of doing whatever is right for the business, where it leads to an improvement.
That's right.
You save time, save money, save costs, save people, and save the convenience. You sell more. Then it's a worthwhile investment as long as the ROI is there.
Absolutely.
And we're reaching a point where, the reason why all of us are on paid versions of Claude or Copilot or whatever is because the ROI for the amount of productivity that you can unlock relative to your spending is there.
Absolutely. And for us, we've been doing a lot of Copilot enablements because we really see, for our type of clients, they need the integration between, SharePoint, all their business applications and all of that. So that's been.
So in our case also, we've been running more Copilot awareness as well as training because there's been a demand from these large corporates and enterprises, especially regulated entities, because Ben Nagara will dictate what kind of software they can use. And so on and so forth. And then, talking about MNCs and GLCs, they are less risk averse. They are more risk averse. So they prefer to stay within the ecosystem that they are already familiar with.
That's true. Come, let's have a drink. So you got a 3-layer matcha, and I've got 3-layer coffee of sorts.
Yeah, exactly.
Looks pretty good though.
Well, the cakes look amazing as well.
Is this a regular place for you? Once?
I've been here once or twice.
Okay.
But there are also other places that I tend to frequent a bit more.
Okay. Maybe you can tell me a bit more about SuperAgent K. First of all, what does K stand for?
It's just like Agent M, Agent N, right? Agent K. Okay, it was a name that my co-founders, the ones who are actually building the product, decided on, with Jen and Marcus.
Right.
So the whole concept behind Agent K is it's meant to be an agentic orchestration platform where multiple users can actually do tasks. So you can just imagine that it's kind of like your Claude desktop app or your Codex, right? But you have the freedom and flexibility to choose whichever model runs in the background. Whether it's Claude or OpenAI or Kimi or GLM or Quen, right? Or Mistral and so on and so forth, or Gemini, right? So you can keep track of the tasks being run by the different teams. So there's also a Trello-like board to see what the agentic tasks are at in terms of the different phases. You can also track token usage by user. What are they using it for? Some of them using it to build mini apps, some of them using it to do reconciliation, some of them using it to do, let's say, basic search queries. Then you can also build mini apps and vibe code inside it. And how it's different from the rest, like, it's kind of like artifact, but you have the databases running locally also.
Right.
As well as our own localized skills. Right? So, for example, if you want to calculate your withholding tax or your SST or your EPF or Precasso, we have all those things that are already done up so that it's all packaged together. So at the end of it, what's the difference in comparison to using that versus Claude or Gemini desktop app, right? And Codex, right? Or Open ChatGPT desktop app. Right? It's number one, it's all packaged together. It's model agnostic. Then number two, you can also host it locally. So it's actually the application management layer. So it's like, you've got cPanel for all your VPS, right? So you can handle your WordPress installation, right? So same principle. We believe that there's a service that's required for the companies, especially the smaller companies, right, which will require a layer where they can manage their own sovereignty. They can also use some ready off-the-shelf mini apps, which they don't have to pay for themselves, and which they don't have to subscribe to many different fragmented apps.
So you've always got to keep your ear open so that you know what customers might require. Then you go ahead and build something.
Well, we're fortunate enough, right, where the same group of people have also been training more than 1,000 over people. And so they range from small, medium, large companies, right? Including the largest like Mr. DIY, Zeus, MyNews, MyDin, Shopee, CCM, Alcon, RightBank, and so on and so forth. Then on the other as well, right? Because we interact with them, they're all our friends also, we sort of understand the pain points they have. And the reality is across most industries and so on and so forth, right? The pain points are roughly around the same, right? How do I do financial reconciliation? How do I post it to Bookoo?
Maybe slightly different shape and form, but by and large, more or less
fundamentals are the same one. Right? How to build a chatbot to take care of my customer queries? How do I answer to leads coming through my lead form automatically? So all these things are things that we big into our products now.
So each agent is called an AI employee.
You can call it an AI employee or a helper to run a certain task. I think the key thing is really to complement the teams as a way to save time. That's the fundamental principle. And when it comes to AI agents also, it might not necessarily be a one-on-one replacement. With where things are right now, especially the start of this year, and AI agents becoming more mainstream, sometimes it's about replacing the current existing workflow completely and redesigning from scratch.
Yes.
Instead of relying on the same workflow that has been used for 20 years or so.
Yeah, so that takes a little bit more thinking and getting more of the managerial team involved to really rethink how we can do things differently today, because we've got all these new AI capabilities and support that we can have. But I think we always encounter people who have been doing things the same way for a long time. So changing their mindset, it does take a little bit of effort as well.
Yeah, because if you think about what AI agents really are, right? Basically, it's creating an infinite labor pool of labor supply of white-collar work.
That's right. So one thing that we say is people join organizations now at a managerial level, because immediately you should be given all these AI employees, so you should already be managing something, if not people.
So some of the organizations that I've dealt with, especially the larger ones, they are beginning to merge the HR with the AI transformation function. Because it's no longer an issue of human resources. It's a question of labor resources, right? Which is a combination of human and agentic, which is synthetic, on it. How do you blend it together? How do you change your workflow? How do you change your workforce? How do you delay it? How do you change the hierarchy of things, right? How do you reduce the
budgeting.
complexity.
Even budgeting is different because you don't budget just for humans now, but the tools as well that support.
Exactly.
The productivity might be the same, but how you differentiate humans versus all these tools.
And it's actually transforming the whole workflow and the workforce, because I remember there was a good article written by the CEO of Cloudflare, right? And basically it's saying there are 3 buckets of jobs now. You have the builders, you have the sellers, and you have the measurers. The builders who build products and services which are required by the market, you still be able to find a job, right? Because you're adding something valuable or something new, right? That's useful to the market. The sellers who sell based on the relationships, right? The human relationship, connection, and empathy will still be okay, because you still need to have the relationship to get things done now.
For sure.
But the measures are the ones where, if you do data collection, data cleaning, data analysis, data reporting, right, and then showing insights, this is the one where the activities are getting compressed. In the past, the finance team needs to be a lot bigger, because somebody will report, somebody will check, another person will check, another person will check. But if the whole thing is collapsed and so on and so forth, then this whole sector of measurers will need to have a careful relook and rethink about how the activity sets will run.
I think what they measure should be different already. First, you should measure, the outcomes or the productivity that's gained from all of these different agents as well. Look at the dashboards, making sure that whatever I'm spending on is really being spent and delivering what you should be.
That's on the intermediate step lah. But maybe in the future, right, if the cost to run all these experiments, right, is minimal, then is there really a need to spend so much effort to measure also and just let it run by itself?
True.
Right? If you stretch the assumptions over to infinite, right? And I think that could also be a real possibility.
Yeah.
Right? Instead of measuring or over measuring or overthinking, right? If you trust the AI to run things optimally and continuously, recursively optimize itself, it should drive towards the optimized outcome.
Yeah. I guess we're not fully there yet.
Not there yet.
Yeah. But so talking about humans and AI, right? What additional value do you think humans need to have in this current state where we've got so much AI going on?
So I think one part is the ability to see the big picture, to connect things together. So you become an architect, you become a connector, you become somebody who sees the big picture, and you wrangle results out of it. So you know which tools to use, what context to apply, which memory. That's one part of it. Second thing is also the human empathy, the ability to connect, right, to feel, to emote. Whether it's for selling or to craft new creative stories, right, to tell better stories, to create content that can resonate. That's the kind of human creativity that still has an amount of premium, right? And then I think the third thing is also the ability to actually inspire and lead your fellow human beings together to do great things together. So the human ability to inspire,
right?
And that's still, something that AI cannot replicate.
Okay. Now maybe you can take a pause from the serious stuff. Maybe you share what kind of fun projects or fun things do you do with AI personally?
I built a 3D game. So it's like a mini, tiny planet game. You can run around and you can see the different landmarks in the world. And then you can collect stories from each one as a way to really push the boundaries.
Okay.
I've also built a role-playing game where it's like kind of choose your own adventure and it shows different outcomes.
Like, you reminds you of those books last time you flip to page 59,
yes,
choose this or choose that.
Yes, like Lone Wolf books or whatever, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Then I also created, because I used to have a personalized children's books business, so I also try to replicate the whole thing over a weekend.
Right.
I built my own PDF editor. Most of my own websites and landing pages are all done by me using AI. So, yeah, beyond just creating reports or creating business-related stuff, you can actually create a lot of fun stuff. And I think it's also by creating the fun stuff, you are able to push the boundaries and really explore, what's possible.
Okay. Yeah. Come, makan.
I think.
Yeah.
So it's really changing, in terms of how everything interacts, and how the workspace is changing, how organizations need to change.
Yeah.
Because the reality is, right, we've met so many companies. Most of the companies are all on hiring freeze. They are not firing yet. They are just not replacing the people.
I think the large companies are those like Meta, Google.
Yeah. But let's talk about Malaysia.
Yeah.
The mass firings have not really happened that much yet.
That's true.
But it's only a matter of time when they realize they don't need that many people to run the traditional processes.
What we are finding is that in the enterprise space, people are still grappling with how to actually get started. I mean, in a personal capacity, yeah, everybody's got their own tools that they interact with, but to really change the whole organization, they're still trying to envision how to run things, and that's why we're being called to run all these workshops to help them to, I feel like you said, align from the top down, the bottom up, and where they meet in between, so that everybody is in agreement with where to start, what to do, what should be measured at the end of the day, right? So you talk about measures. So I feel there needs to be this whole team of people who can convince the management that yes, don't worry, someone is measuring, we'll give you reports on how well this is performing. Because otherwise they're just spending money and just worried that there won't be returns.
But right now, the ROI for AI is so high. The truth is actually very high. That's why most of us are okay to pay $20 or $100 for Claude also, because $100 is a 400 ringgit. But you can get, if you increase your free time by 50%, right? Your volume by 50%, that's a few thousand ringgit worth of productivity at the very least, even for a junior employee already. Yeah. So for me, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah. So in an organization, right, who do you think will be the winners? Do you think it will be people who know the tools, or people who know how to think still, despite all these tools?
You need people who can do both. You must be able to think, then you must know how to wrangle results using the tools. And it's also turning into a situation where people are going back to the situation of being more hands-on. Hands-on, because hands-on they instruct the AI to do it, and AI actually does 99% of the work. So you look at the senior leadership, right, and the founders and the C-suites, right, we are more hands-on ourselves now, because instead of asking a junior to do it, it's faster for us to just do it by asking AI to do it.
That's true.
So we are reverting back to a hands-on situation, because we are able to get more exacting results, more accurate results in the manner that we want, but in a faster way as well. But it's also leading to a situation where there's also AI fatigue, because we are actually working more. We're actually I spend 5-6 hours in front of Claude. Right? I think you probably do the same as well, right? We talk more to Claude than anybody else now.
So it sometimes leads to a problem where you got all of these ideas or all of these things that are produced, right? But then you need to have the execution part. And I think people who are at the preliminary stage of understanding AI, that's where they're stuck. Just to make AI execute for you, then I think it requires a different level of maturity.
But to do that, right, to learn AI also, you must be hands-on to use AI.
Yeah.
Right? If you have not really used Claude and hear people talking about Claude only, right, then how would you know how efficient Claude is, right, in terms of the impact and how life-changing it is? Right? It's actually life-changing in terms of how we work.
That's true.
Yeah.
So coming back to humans, right, what is maybe one human aspect that AI would find it difficult to replace?
I think AI will be superior in terms of having a larger context window, having better memory, having more access to different tools.
But even humans fail at that oftentimes.
Yeah.
As you age, you also start forgetting stuff.
So AI will be better than humans
for sure.
For all those things, right?
Sure.
But maybe where the humans have an advantage is actually the ability to surprise and come with something called completely novel. You must still have the kind of creative inspiration and spark. It becomes something where it's not derived from whatever feeding information has been fed to actually feed and train the
originality model. Maybe.
Originality.
Okay.
But then again, 99.99% of humans are also not original. Right? It is a thinking.
It's true. In the past, it used to be maybe I read an article somewhere or this book and it inspired me to think of something, but it's not 100% original either. But these days, I think a lot of people ideate using ChatGPT, Copilot, and all that as well, right?
So the premium thing and the important thing is actually how do you get people to be able to be innovative, and it goes back to it's quite similar to how you train the AI model, how you train the human from young, so that the boy or the girl will see more things, then can draw more relationships. Then the neurons will be wired differently, then you can see it from a different perspective. That would be the key differentiation.
I actually think, right, that there's a need for sometimes people to disconnect, just to maybe bring out a blank sheet of paper, and just pour out ideas, just to vomit out everything,
exactly,
and then start planning before you actually go back to using all these tools to take it even further.
Yeah, precisely.
Yeah.
So I think take a step back, connect the dots, and then from there build something that the market or the community or the users want, be it a product or a service or a piece of knowledge.
Okay. Yeah. So before we wrap up, maybe just another couple of questions. Now that you're already here, you're running multiple brands. What piece of advice would you give to your younger self if you had the opportunity to rewire how you could do things?
Buy Bitcoin. No lah. I mean, the real piece of advice is, for any young person out there, even you're starting now, I know it's hard to find a new job because the whole industry or the whole economy is still adjusting. What does it mean, right? But as long as you focus on the fundamentals of really understanding what makes it valuable for you to be differentiated in the market. How do you use the tools? How do you connect things together? How do you make sure that you have fresh ideas? You have the ability to execute things differently, right? You can see things differently, right? You can use the tools, right? No matter how fast they move or how fast they change also, to generate new outcomes. Those will be the key things that any young person should focus on.
Yeah, for me, I think having a mentor or having someone who's a bit more experienced to guide me, if I had done that in my earlier years, I think I would have advanced a lot faster.
I think the mentoring part is one thing, right? But now, young people are using AI as their mentors.
That's true.
So counselors or psychologists or aside, that's one thing, their mental shrink. But the other one is actually AI is the main teacher. I don't know how to program this. I don't know how to create the same stuff. How do I make a matcha latte? AI is the one that's educating. There's step-by-step guides as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes even executing for them. So the world is also shifting where AI and technology, right? They are no longer just tools. They are also advisors. They are also instructors. They are also teachers and mentors. So the dynamic exchange. There's a saying. You will not lose your job to AI. You will lose the job to somebody who uses AI.
Yeah.
I think that's a big piece of bollocks. Because the reality is the biggest competitor is actually AI itself. So it's up to you on how to use it as a co-pilot or a co-worker, or how do you leverage on it and not see it as a competition to be able to perform 5 to 10 times better than your other peers.
You know what? I was going to write an article on the exact same thing that you talked about. And the reason why people coin that kind of a phrase is because they just want to downplay all of these things, right? The adoption of AI, you won't be losing your jobs and things like that. But the reality is, people are losing their jobs.
Yes.
And if they don't, then how are you going to drive all this efficiency and productivity, right?
It's better to be alarmist, right? So that we can shock the workforce into adapting as quickly as possible, rather than to pull wool over their eyes. That's the truth, right? I mean, the reality is, the ones who are getting affected now are mainly the white-collar workers. Because white-collar workers work in the past used to be where you need a college degree, you sit in front of a computer, you look at numbers, right? But all these things can be done by AI, really.
Correct.
So what is the real differentiation, right? So real value add, and that's the key thing that everybody needs to answer for himself or herself.
Well, maybe last question. Who are maybe 2 people you think I should invite to bring them on Drive, Dine, Decode AI?
Really, I would say perhaps somebody who is looking at it from an economic perspective. I have a lot of respect for a gentleman named Mr. Encik Nur Hisham. He's the senior economic advisor to the Prime Minister. I don't know whether he has time now.
Okay.
Then maybe another person would be somebody who sees it differently, right? I would need to have a think. But okay, I would also recommend bringing somebody who's much older than all of us. Good. 30 years, 40 years older.
Oh, nice.
Because they'll see things differently. In fact, during the next Unicrush event, I'll probably be inviting 2 people who are like maybe 30, 40 years older than the average age group. Because sometimes it's no longer about work. They will think, oh yeah, young people, right? You might be 40 years old, but do not, don't neglect your family, for example. Right? So those are the important lessons that will be helpful beyond just technology.
All right, I will attend your next event and connect with some of these people.
Okay.
So just to share with you, my dad, who is 88 this year, he actually uses AI to help him to draft his memoir.
Okay.
He's done a lot of things in his past, but just to write, he's not quite wired that way.
Yeah.
So using AI to write and craft a story that flows very nicely from chapter to chapter. it is amazing what it can do.
Yes.
So yeah.
Like my mom is a kindergarten teacher right now. She's using Gemini to create mini games to teach her basic math concepts, right? So my mother-in-law, who's 67, runs a law firm. She's using Claude to build customers and to research. So it's accessible now, right? Don't get intimidated, especially if you're a senior citizen listening to this.
That's right. So that's good advice. No matter what age you are, right? I think you should, embrace AI in some shape or form. Get your son-in-law, get your children to help you to upskill and to use it.
Yeah.
So I guess that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining us on Drive, Dine, Decode AI. And that is Warren Leow for you.